What's up everybody, blessed be. My name is Manon and you are watching Witch in the Working, where we will be discussing all things witchy in and around, throughout and about, above, below, and beyond. Please visit me on my other platforms as well, including Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon, all linked down in the description below. The full script of this video and most of the others is available on my Patreon account for download if desired to build your own Witch in the Working Book of Shadows. Also, please visit my Shopify store listed in the description below to get your Witch in the Working mugs, stickers, bags, beanies, and what have you. So here we are once again, where we will be talking about another tool utilized in witchcraft. Fact is, this particular tool has been used in quite a few practices of magic, including a few ceremonial magics throughout history. We all know of the multiple tools we have at hand that are utilized throughout the mainstream practices of today, which include, but are definitely not limited to, the thurible or censer, chalice, pentacle, athame, sword, bell, book, candles, bowl of salt, incense, water, to name a few. There is a tool that is associated with wizards and witches that has been that way for at least the better part of a century, thanks to Hollywood. Just as the besom or the broom has been linked to the witch via Hollywood throughout the decades, so too has the magical wand been linked to the witches and wizards. It's very difficult, if not damn near impossible, to cite one movie, TV show, or even book about wizards and or witches that the magical subject within the storyline is most likely going to possess their magical wand or staff. In this episode, we're going to talk all about the magical wand and how it's used in real magical practices today, as well as how to obtain and or make your own. So go grab yourself a nice relaxing, whatever your poison is, and let's get into it. Roll the intro. Welcome back everyone. So what is a magic wand? In magical traditions, a wand is a tool used to focus and direct magical energy. A magic wand is typically made of wood, although it can be made of other materials such as metal or crystal. The type of wood used in wands construction can be significant, as different woods are associated with different magical properties and correspondences. The wand is often used in ritual or spell work to channel energy and direct it toward a specific intention or outcome. It can also be used to draw symbols or sigils in the air or to create a sacred space. Some magical practitioners use a wand in combination with other tools, such as a chalice or an athame, which is a ritual knife. It's important to note that the concept of a magic wand varies depending on the specific magical tradition or practice. In some traditions, the wand is seen as a symbol of authority or power, while in others it is viewed as a conduit for divine energy. Regardless of its specific usage, the magic wand is a potent tool for those who practice magic and can be an essential part of a magical practitioner's toolkit. Throughout history, wands have been an important tool in magical practices. The use of wands may have even originated in prehistoric times, as suggested by the discovery of rods alongside the Red Lady of Paviland in Britain. These rods may have been early forms of wands and were depicted as such in a reconstruction drawing of the Red Lady's burial. The use of wands in ancient Egypt is well documented. In particular, apotropaic wands made from hippopotamus tusks were used during birth ceremonies. These wands were curved with one pointed end and one blunt end, and may have even been used to invoke Taweret, the hippopotamus goddess of childbirth. Earliest apotropaic wand used in Egypt was undecorated, but as early as 1850 BC, they were often decorated with apotropaic figures related to the sun religion and inscribed with protective text. These wands were inscribed with protective text on the flat side, such as, quote, "Cut off the head of the enemy when he enters the chamber of the children whom the lady has borne," end quote. In addition to ancient Egypt, the barsum was used by Zoroastrian magi during religious ceremonies. It's a bundle of twigs that may be a prototypical wand from which later magical wands descend. The concept of magic wands was also used by the ancient Greek writer Homer. In his epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey, Homer wrote about Hermes, Athena, and Circe using magic wands. In the Iliad, Homer wrote that Hermes generally uses his magic wand Caduceus to make people sleep and wake up. In the Odyssey, Homer wrote that Athena used her magic wand to make Odysseus old and then young again, and that Circe used her magic wand to turn Odysseus's men into pigs. By the 1st century AD, the wand was a common symbol of magic in Roman cults, especially Mithraism. In the 3rd and 4th centuries, there were frequent depictions on sarcophagi of Jesus Christ using a magic wand to perform miracles such as the raising of Lazarus and feeding the multitude. In Roman art, the wand was often depicted as a symbol of power, and the wand was frequently used by magicians in works of fiction. In the late Middle Ages, wands were firmly established as a powerful tool in fairy tales, particularly in Italian fairy tales, where they were often wielded by powerful fairies. Fairy tales put wands into the hands of the powerful fairies, emphasizing their mystical power. By the 16th century, the wand had become a symbol of witchcraft, and the use of the wand became associated with witchcraft and sorcery. Wands are frequently used in various ceremonial practices, such as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and Thelema as well, by individual practitioners of magic. The use of wands in ceremonial magic dates back to the 13th century Latin grimoire, the Oathbound Book of Honorius, and was later incorporated into the 16th century grimoire, the Key of Solomon. This text became popular amongst occultists for many years, and in 1888, an English translation by Samuel Mathers made it available to the English-speaking world. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which uses wands for different purposes, drew inspiration from the mid-19th century occultist author Eliphas Levi's writings on the subject. Levy referenced many of the ritual objects used by the Golden Dawn in his works, which are also mentioned in the Key of Solomon. The lotus wand in particular was inspired by a fake excerpt of a Hebrew version of the Key of Solomon written by Levy. Some witches prefer to use a wand instead of an athame, especially those who follow certain fae traditions. Why do some believe that the fae are afraid of iron or steel? Beliefs about the fairy folklore vary across cultures and time periods, so there's not one definitive answer to this question. However, one common explanation for why fairies are believed to be afraid of steel is that it was considered a magical material that had the power to repel or harm supernatural beings. In traditional folklore, fairies were often portrayed as mischievous and sometimes malevolent beings who could cause harm to humans. They were thought to have supernatural powers, but were also vulnerable to certain materials and objects such as iron and steel. Iron was believed to be particularly effective on warding off or harming fairies, and it was often used to create protective amulets, horseshoes, and other objects that could keep fairies at bay. The idea that fairies were afraid of steel may have originated from this belief in the protective power of iron altogether. Steel is an alloy of iron and other elements, so it may have been seen as even more potent than pure iron. Additionally, steel weapons such as swords and knives were commonly used in battle, so they may have been associated with power and strength, further enhancing their effectiveness against supernatural beings. Overall, the belief that fairies are afraid of steel likely reflects a broader cultural belief in the protective power of certain materials and objects. While this belief may have been based on superstition rather than empirical evidence, it played an important role in shaping folklore and cultural practices related to fairies and other supernatural beings. While wooden wands are perhaps the most well-known type of magical wand, wands can also be made from a variety of other materials. Some examples are crystal wands. Crystal wands are often used in healing and energy work. Different types of crystals are believed to have different properties and energies, and a crystal wand can be used to focus and direct these specific energies. Wands made from metals such as copper, silver, or gold are sometimes used in ceremonial magic. These wands are often highly ornamental and may be engraved with symbols or inscriptions. Wands made from animal bones are sometimes used in shamanic or nature-based traditions. The bones of different animals are believed to have different properties and energies, and a bone wand can be used to connect with these energies. Glass wands can be made in a variety of colors and shapes, and are sometimes used in spellwork or as a tool for meditation and visualization. Wands made from the bundles of herbs or other plant materials are sometimes used in healing or ritual work. The herbs are chosen for their specific properties and energies, and the wand is used to direct these energies. The choice of wand material may depend on the specific tradition or purpose from which the wand will be used. Different materials may be believed to have different properties or energies that are suited to different types of magic or spiritual work. Magic wands can also be made with a variety of tips, each of which may be chosen for its specific properties or energetic qualities. Some examples are a pointed tip. A pointed tip is one of the most common types of wand tips. It can be used to direct and focus energy in a specific direction and is often associated with the element of air. A rounded tip can be used for more gentle or diffuse energy work and is often associated with the element of water. A spiral tip is thought to enhance the flow of energy through the wand and is often associated with the element of fire. A flat tip can be used for more grounding or stabilizing energy work and is often associated with the element of earth. A multifaceted tip, such as one made from a crystal, can be used to amplify and focus different types of energy depending on the specific facets and properties of the crystal. Some traditions will carve a phallic tip into a wand, especially those that are interested in fertility magic or whom base their rituals and spirituality through balance, creation, and nature. Overall, the choice of wand tips will depend on the specific properties and energies that the practitioner is looking to work with. Different tips may be more suited to certain types of spells or rituals, and may be chosen based on personal preferences or traditions within a specific magical practice. Both magic staves and magic wands are tools that are used in various magical and spiritual practices to help focus and direct energy. However, there are some differences between the two. A magic wand is typically a shorter, slender tool that is held in one hand. A magic staff, on the other hand, is typically a longer, thicker tool that is held with both hands. Staves are often made from wood and may be adorned with symbols, crystals, or other decorative elements just like the wand. The staff is typically used for grounding and stabilizing energy, as well as for protection and as a symbol of authority. In many traditions, the staff is associated with the element of earth and is used to connect with the physical realm. While there is some overlap between the two tools, they are generally used for different purposes and may be associated with different elements or energies. The choice of which tool to use may depend on the specific type of magic or spiritual work being performed, as well as personal preferences or traditions within a specific magical practice. To me, the Athamian sword have the same functionality as the wand and staff. For instance, you might be okay casting a circle and calling quarters with a staff or sword, but for consecrating things on your altar or empowering something like a candle or poppet, you may want to use the smaller and less cumbersome wand or athame. Wands have been featured in many popular Hollywood TV shows and movies, often as a magical tool used by characters to cast spells or perform other supernatural feats. Perhaps one of the most famous wands in pop culture is the wand used by fictional character Harry Potter in the Harry Potter book and movie series. Harry's wand is made from hollywood and contains a phoenix feather core. Throughout the series, Harry uses his wand to cast spells and defend himself against dark wizards. In the TV show Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the titular character uses a wand to cast spells and perform magical feats. The wand is made from a branch of blackthorn tree and is a key tool in Sabrina's magical arsenal. In the Lord of the Rings movie series, the character Gandalf uses a staff as a symbol of his power and authority. The staff is made from an enchanted wood and contains a crystal that emits a bright light. In the movie Maleficent, the nominal character uses a staff to cast spells and perform magical feats. The staff is made from a branch of the tree that holds the magical kingdom together and is a key tool in Maleficent's quest for revenge. Wands have become an iconic symbol of magic and fantasy in pop culture and have been featured in countless TV shows and movies over the years. These tools have captivated audiences and inspired imaginations around the world. Decorating a magic wand can be a fun and creative way to personalize and imbue the wand with specific energies or symbolism. A few ideas for decorating a magic wand might be some symbols and inscriptions. Carving or painting symbols or inscriptions onto the wand can help to imbue it with specific energies or intentions. For example, you might carve the symbol for protection or abundance onto a wand to enhance these qualities. Attaching gemstones or crystals to the wand can help to amplify its energies for properties. You might choose a crystal that's associated with a particular intention or energy, such as amethyst for spiritual awareness or rose quartz for love. Adding feathers or ribbons to the wand can create a visually appealing and tactile decoration, while also infusing the wand with the qualities associated with the feathers or colors of the ribbons. Stringing beads or attaching charms onto the wand can create a unique and personalized decoration. You might choose beads or charms that represent your personal beliefs, interests, or intentions. Using a wood burning tool to create designs or patterns on the wand can be a beautiful and unique way to decorate it as well. You might burn the outlines of specific symbols or designs onto the wand or create a more abstract pattern, totally up to you. Decorating a magic wand is an opportunity to infuse the tool with personal meaning, energy, and symbolism, while also creating a visually appealing and unique decoration. The specific decorations that are chosen may depend on personal preferences, the specific intentions or energies being worked with, or the traditions and symbolism of a particular magical practice. In many magical traditions, the choice of wood for a wand is believed to have a significant impact on its energy and properties. Here's some suggestions for the types of wood that are often associated with different types of magic. For a prosperity wand, some possible woods to consider include oak, maple, or ash. Oak is often associated with strength and stability, while maple is associated with abundance and growth. Ash is associated with success and prosperity. For a fertility wand, some possible woods to consider would be willow, apple, or hazel. Willow is associated with the feminine and the moon, while apple is associated with love and fertility. Hazel is associated with creativity and fertility. For a protection wand, some possible woods to consider include Hawthorne, Rowan, or yew. Hawthorne is associated with protection and purification, while Rowan is associated with warding off negative energy. Yew is associated with strength and protection. For an abundance wand, some possible woods to consider include cedar, pine, or birch. Cedar is associated with prosperity and abundance, while pine is associated with growth and regeneration. Birch is associated with new beginnings and abundance. For a health wand, some possible woods to consider include elder, willow, or birch. Elder is associated with healing and protection, while willow is associated with emotional healing and spiritual growth. Birch is associated with purification and cleansing. For a love wand, some possible woods to consider include cherry, rose, or apple. Cherry is associated with love and passion, while rose is associated with love, beauty, and emotional healing. Apple's always been associated with love and fertility. These are just a few examples, and the choice of wood for a wand may also depend on personal preferences, local availability, or cultural and symbolic associations with a specific magical tradition. Personally, I always had this fantasy of creating multiple wands, like one for abundance, one for healing, one for love, one for prosperity, and then just kind of have them, and then like every time you work that magic, use that particular wand. As of right now, I own like 2 wands, but I really only use one, and it's kind of for everything. So I'm thinking about making individual ones, quite a few, and probably starting with the one that I'll be working with coming up later on in the video. So where can you obtain a wonderful wand or staff for yourself? There are several places where people can obtain magic wands depending on their preferences and beliefs. Here are some options. Purchase one from a metaphysical shop. There are many metaphysical shops that sell magic wands. These shops may offer a range of different wands made from various materials and may also provide guidance on how to choose a wand that aligns with your specific needs and intentions. Of course, as everyone knows, there's Amazon as well. There's literally hundreds of wands available on Amazon. There are also wand makers who specialize in creating custom wands for individuals. These artisans may work with specific materials or offer a range of options to choose from and may work with you to create a wand that aligns with your specific needs and desires. Some practitioners of witchcraft may choose to use a natural object such as a branch or a crystal or for a wand. This can be an affordable and accessible option, as these objects can often be found in nature or purchased inexpensively from a metaphysical or natural health store. The choice of where to obtain a magic wand will depend on the individual's preferences and beliefs, as well as their budget and accessibility. The most important factor is that the wand resonates with your intentions and helps you to connect with the spiritual and energetic realms. And lastly, you can make your own wand. Many practitioners of witchcraft prefer to create their own wands, as this allows them to infuse the wand with their own energy and intentions. A wand can be made from a variety of materials such as wood, crystal, metal, or even natural objects like feathers or shells, just like we discussed earlier. Come along with me as I venture outside the studio to craft my very own magic wand. Let's check it out. I went out to my favorite place in the forest to harvest my wand material. This is the same spot that I film a lot of my videos when I'm in the forest. I like to call it Mannon's Creek because of the little river that runs by it. You all have mostly seen it in the spring, summer, and fall. This is what it looks like in the winter. To harvest your wand, you would first need to find a suitable piece of wood that is hopefully fallen naturally from a tree if possible. I got lucky enough to have this freshly down branch, most likely fallen from the weight of the snow. This is an eastern hemlock branch. Some magical correspondences of eastern hemlock are protection, grounding, healing, purification, divination, and resilience. Believed that when making a magic wand, the length of the wand should correspond to the measurement from the crook of your elbow to the tip of your fingers. This measurement is considered to be a personal measurement that represents the individual's connection to the energy of the wand and helps to ensure that the wand is properly aligned with the practitioner's intentions and energy. I chose to carve a pointy tip in the end of my wand. The tip of a wand is an important feature as it can be used to direct and focus the energy of the wand during magical workings. A pointy tip is believed to be particularly effective for focusing energy and directing it towards a specific goal or intention. It's important to note that wand making is a highly personal and individual practice, and there is no one right way to create a wand. Ultimately, the most important thing is to create a wand that resonates with your own energy and intentions, and that also feels comfortable and natural to use in your magic practice. When carving your wand, it's important to focus on your intentions and to imbue the wand with your own energy and purpose. You may choose to carve symbols, runes, or other decorative elements into the wood to enhance its magical properties. One way to do this is by using a wood burning tool to carve the symbols or runes into the wood of your wand. Wood burning is also known as pyrography. It's a technique that involves using a heated tool to burn designs or patterns into wood. To create runes on your wand, you would first need to choose the appropriate runes and then draw them onto the surface of your wand using a pencil or other marking tool. I used a magic marker. Once you have your design in place, you can use a wood burning tool to carefully burn the runes into the wood. This requires a steady hand and some practice to ensure that the lines are clean and well defined. It's important to work slowly and carefully, taking breaks as needed to avoid overheating the tool or burning yourself. When using a wood burning tool to carve runes into your wand, it's important to focus on your intentions and to infuse each symbol with your own energy and purpose. You may wish to visualize the energy flowing from your body into the wand, imbuing it with power and intention as you work. So this is my magic wand as the finished product. I hope you guys like it. I think it's really cool. I like it. I like to keep it. I chose to keep it with the natural bark on it than to sand it all down, but you could do that as well. It's completely up to you. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of Witching and Working. Do you own a magic wand? What's it made of, and what do you use it for? Let us all know down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to ring that little bell to be reminded of future episodes to come. I love you guys and gals. Blessed be.